Pursuing wisdom, though a path less frequented, offers the greatest rewards in life. Certain aspects of life are akin to planting seeds in quiet places, hidden from prying eyes, allowing them to thrive undisturbed. Herein lies the wisdom of the Stoics. They advocate for nurturing our inner selves quietly, without the urgency to exhibit our growth to the world. These profound thinkers of history understood the importance of discretion. They treasured their secrets, accomplishments, and learnings, recognizing that revealing too much could diminish their true essence. Every joy, sorrow, lesson, and challenge are parts of the narrative we create. Sharing indiscriminately might lead us to live less profoundly. Similar to how constant handling hinders a flower's growth, our development too requires seclusion, a personal space to reflect on our errors and successes and to plan our future path thoughtfully. Choosing not to share certain aspects isn't about concealment but about safeguarding genuine growth. True progress lies in balancing what we reveal and what we keep to ourselves. In a society that often glorifies oversharing, it can be difficult to acknowledge and value the unseen drivers of our successes. In this video, we will explore 13 topics that are best kept private. Each is significant, so stay tuned until the end to understand their importance. Firstly, avoid discussing your accomplishments. For the Stoics, the quest for wisdom and virtue was akin to a deep and dark dive into one's soul. They saw true fulfillment not in showcasing external successes, but in self-reflection and ongoing personal evolution. Battles were fought not in public arenas but within the quiet realms of the spirit. Sharing victories can lead to deep reflections on ego and vanity, which, if fostered, create obstacles to genuine virtue. When we introspectively evaluate our growth and achievements, we cultivate inner resilience, shielding ourselves from the variances of external acclaim and criticism. History is filled with tales of those who loudly proclaimed their successes, only to face unexpected repercussions. Consider the myth of Icarus, for instance. Although fictional, this story captures a timeless aspect of human nature. Overcome by the thrill of flight, he ignored his father's cautions, soared too close to the sun, and fell into the sea as his wings melted. His hubris and the pursuit of glory and recognition led to his demise. Embracing success with modesty doesn't lessen its value, it enhances it. In today's era of continuous digital connection, we face novel challenges and opportunities. When you achieve something, take time to savor it, value it, and then thoughtfully decide if it's something to share with others. Secondly, refrain from discussing your challenges. On the Stoic journey towards wisdom and virtue, every step held significance. The diversions and hurdles weren't just obstacles, they sculpted the soul, molded character, and illuminated the true essence of greatness. It was not the visible triumphs, but the often unseen internal battles that shaped a person's inner fortitude. So, why did the Stoics counsel against speaking of unvanquished challenges? This stems from their insightful understanding of human nature. They recognized that ego and pride could obscure our perception, blinding us to genuine virtue. The unyielding quest for external validation and acclaim might mask our true capabilities. The Stoics didn't prize achievements flaunted as trophies, they sought true glory in deeds that uplifted humanity, grounded in virtues like justice, generosity, and wisdom. To them, true wealth wasn't in the luster of gold but in the glow of a morally sound character and a peaceful soul. Embracing the philosophy of amor fati or loving one's fate was central to their belief. The Stoics didn't despair in adversity but maintained equanimity in both victory and defeat, recognizing that life's tapestry is interwoven with threads of circumstances often outside our control. Thirdly, avoid discussing your resentment. Have you ever been ensnared in an emotional web, each strand representing a lingering grudge or a bitter memory? Stoic philosophy prompts us to contemplate the unseen burden of resentment. To these ancient thinkers, holding on to resentment was akin to an anchor, hindering the soul's free voyage through life's seasons. But imagine opting for a road less traveled, one lined with forgiveness and understanding. This historical viewpoint is underpinned by a strong emphasis on virtue and self-mastery. Consider if you've ever borne a heavy burden, feeling its draining weight of weariness, exhaustion, and resentment. This burden acts as an invisible shackle, restricting our freedom and inner tranquility. It's intriguing to realize that resentment often stems from misunderstandings, trapping us in a vortex of bitterness. The Stoics urged us to investigate the roots of others' actions, to understand before passing judgment. Forgiveness, then, is not merely a selfless act but a deeply wise one, unraveling the enigmas of the human spirit and liberating us from the grip of negativity. Anger and resentment are quiet toxins, flames that devour our peace and well-being when fueled. In contrast, choosing forgiveness and understanding leads us to a haven of calm and tranquility. Following Stoic guidance, we're reminded of a universal truth: forgiveness is the gateway to our liberation. It's a lighthouse steering us through emotional tempests, offering shelter in a haven of serenity. By adopting this lesson, we find that sometimes the most profound strength lies in releasing ourselves from the past's shackles, steering towards a horizon of empathy and peace. Fourthly, refrain from discussing your good deeds. Picture a candle quietly illuminating a dark room, its light gentle and unassuming, yet it brings warmth and visibility to all around it. To the Stoics, kindness resembled this flame. They believed that true generosity didn't require public announcement or grand declarations. It should inherently be a sincere and understated act, performed simply for the sake of doing good, without anticipation of applause or reward. This notion might appear unusual in today's culture of self-promotion, but it is grounded in a profound understanding. The Stoics were aware of the risk of transforming kindness into a spectacle. Boasting about altruistic actions can inadvertently shift the focus to seeking transient approval. Keeping our acts of kindness private allows for a sacred moment of introspection and stillness, a time for deep connection with oneself to ponder if our deeds are truly heartfelt or driven by ulterior motives. This private self-reflection serves as a catalyst for personal growth. At the core of Stoic philosophy is the belief that genuine kindness doesn't crave attention. It is found in acts of compassion that are quiet and sincere. This ageless wisdom envelopes us, reminding us of an essential truth: often, the most significant act of kindness is the one given without any expectation of return. Fifthly, avoid discussing your doubts and uncertainties. Visualize being in an expansive forest, where each tree symbolizes a doubt and every shadow signifies uncertainty. Instead of broadcasting your hesitations, opt for quiet introspection, seeking answers within your soul. This aligns with the Stoic approach. Central to Stoic philosophy is the idea that confidence isn't a banner to be flaunted publicly but an internal light guiding our path. Continually voicing our doubts is akin to subjecting a lighthouse to relentless rain, risking its extinguishment. The firmness we need comes from not being influenced by others' opinions and judgments. Modesty, more than just a superficial virtue, acts as a shield for the spirit. Thus, openly displaying all uncertainties can erode the soul's dignity. It's crucial to discern when and with whom to share your vulnerabilities. While many search for answers amid the noise of the external world, recognize the value of silence and introspection. Believe that answers to profound questions often echo in the quiet realms of the heart and mind. By holding on to certain uncertainties, you can foster deeper contemplation and a stronger connection to your essence. In summary, Stoic wisdom offers valuable counsel amidst the tempests of doubt. There's no need to broadcast your uncertainties. Through embracing quietude, modesty, and introspection, we navigate the forest of uncertainties, led by the inner light of our confidence and understanding. This represents the essence of Stoic teaching, the power of silent self-reflection and the inner strength it imparts. Sixthly, refrain from discussing your deepest dreams. Picture a rare, fragile seed resting in your hand, symbolizing your most personal dreams and intense aspirations. Consider how you would shield it from harsh winds and storms that might hinder its growth. The Stoics, in their deep wisdom, provide guidance here. They viewed our ambitions and dreams as such precious seeds, meant to be nurtured in the fertile ground of our souls, away from the tempests of others' judgments and critiques. Haven't we all experienced a dream being prematurely snuffed out under the chill of skepticism or the scorch of ridicule? In Stoic philosophy, self-reliance is esteemed as a priceless treasure. True wisdom and accomplishment are not trophies for public display, but a personal reservoir from which we can continually draw. It is pointless to chase transient external validation when true richness and purpose lie within our minds. Perhaps the most profound, yet unspoken virtue, Stoicism understands the fine line between healthy ambition and overbearing pride. Opting for silence about our grand ambitions is not timidity, but a conscious decision to tread the path of humility, steering clear of the blindness caused by pride. The Stoic message resonates deeply: there's no need to proclaim our dreams loudly. Instead, we should safeguard them, nurture them, and observe as they bloom in their quiet, majestic splendor. This protection is an invitation to rediscover the strength within and to realize that sometimes the most valuable treasures are those we keep solely to ourselves. Seventhly, avoid discussing your next steps. Imagine a chess grandmaster quietly maneuvering their pieces, leaving their opponents guessing their strategy. This mirrors the Stoic approach. They recognize that revealing each step in their lives could make them vulnerable to the unpredictable currents of external judgment, often filled with criticism, envy, and even malice. At the core of Stoic philosophy is the virtue of self-reliance. Why seek the ephemeral applause of an audience when true strength dwells in the mind's inner theater? By keeping their life strategies private, the Stoics weren't merely concealing their plans, they were bolstering their inner confidence, independent of the surrounding sea of opinions. This leads to the concept of humility, a subtle yet significant trait deeply valued by the Stoics. Broadcasting elaborate plans can come across as boastful, a declaration of one's superiority. Through discretion, they achieved a balance between ambition and humility, ensuring their actions were firm but not presumptuous. The Stoic tradition thus offers a valuable perspective on the significance of secrecy. It teaches us that safeguarding our goals is more than a tactic, it's a way to strengthen our being, to honor our self-reliance, and to move with humility in a world where external affirmation often reigns supreme. The Stoics encourage us to turn inward, discover our internal guide, and navigate our path with confidence and insight. Eighthly, refrain from discussing your moments of solitude. The Stoics found strength in quietness, not seeing solitude as an emptiness to fill, but as a sanctuary for the mind to roam uninhibited, free from the influence of others' opinions. Contrary to popular belief, they didn't avoid solitude, they welcomed it. In their retreats, they didn't feel isolated, but connected to a rich inner world brimming with insight. It was in this profound stillness that their deepest thoughts emerged, unmarred by external distractions. In today's world, where social media validation is often prioritized, Stoic philosophy encourages a re-evaluation of these priorities. By stepping back from the constant quest for attention, we find a space for our souls to breathe. It's in this deep silence that we discover the melody of our essence, a resonance that doesn't need to be broadcasted but is felt in its purest and truest form. For the Stoics, solitude was not an escape from the world, but a deeper engagement with oneself and the cosmos. In these quiet moments of reflection, they found the fortitude to confront life's challenges with resilience and wisdom. In an era dominated by continuous connectivity and external validation, which often overshadow our internal voices, Stoic philosophy underscores the value of embracing solitude as a source of inner strength and clarity. It encourages us to look inward, to listen to our essence's melody, and to uncover truth and purity in silence. In this noisy, distraction-filled age, the Stoic message remains a timeless beacon, highlighting solitude's role in nurturing our souls and guiding our actions with authenticity and insight. Ninthly, avoid talking about others in a critical manner. Criticizing others can be likened to throwing stones into a tranquil lake, creating disturbances that disrupt its serenity. The Stoics understood that indulging in judgments and criticisms diverted attention from their own internal reflections, squandering energy on things outside their control. Rather than pointing fingers, they chose to offer a helping hand, guiding themselves with empathy and compassion. They recognized that each person is a complex universe, filled with internal struggles, joys, sorrows, triumphs, and setbacks. Criticizing others was seen as a failure to appreciate the rich complexity of the human experience. They also realized that criticism, rather than building bridges, often erected barriers. In their quest for tranquility and harmony, they understood that harsh words and rash judgments led to discord and division. Stoic wisdom sends a clear, timeless message: we should be careful guardians of our words and thoughts. Instead of focusing on others' flaws, we should introspect, seeking personal growth and virtue. In a world where criticism is easily voiced, Stoic teachings inspire us to embrace understanding, acceptance, and kindness. By casting stones of empathy into humanity's lake, we contribute to the creation of ripples of positivity. 10thly, refrain from discussing your future plans. Have you ever felt burdened by others' expectations about your next moves? There's a certain empowerment in keeping your future plans discreet, rather than making them common knowledge around the dinner table. Your dreams, aspirations, and desires are personal treasures. By not revealing every detail, you maintain an air of mystery and unpredictability. In an era where sharing is commonplace, there is strength in holding your cards close, allowing your actions to speak for themselves. History is replete with examples of individuals who boasted about their plans, only to see them falter. Take Napoleon Bonaparte, for instance. Despite his military brilliance, his overconfidence often led to premature disclosure of his strategies, and underestimating his adversaries became his undoing, as evidenced in the Battle of Waterloo. Then there's Howard Hughes, the business magnate known for his secrecy, always keeping competitors guessing. This is a lesson in the power of unpredictability and the strategic value of discretion. Today, with the ubiquity of social media urging us to broadcast every intention, Stoic philosophy encourages us to step back and approach things more contemplatively. By keeping your future plans to yourself, you safeguard your objectives and allow yourself the flexibility to adapt and change without external influence. Seneca's wisdom resonates here: if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. It's a compelling reminder to set our own course, but to share it selectively, primarily with ourselves. Keeping your plans private doesn't signify fear or uncertainty, it demonstrates a deep understanding of the dynamics of the world. It's not about secrecy for secrecy's sake, but about preserving the sanctity of your journey. In doing so, when you do take steps, they are perceived as confident, deliberate, and always a step ahead. 11th, avoid discussing unlearned lessons. Mistakes are a universal experience, we all err and falter. However, our response to these failures truly reflects our character. For the Stoics, such moments weren't times of despair but of revelation and growth. In our contemporary society, there's a tendency to project an image of flawlessness, showcasing victories while concealing defeats. Yet, the Stoics offer a different perspective: embrace mistakes not as weaknesses but as guides for self-improvement. By choosing not to publicly disclose their unlearned lessons, the Stoics weren't evading responsibility or concealing their failures. Rather, they were engaging in a profound, introspective process. Each failure was viewed not as a setback but as a stepping stone, the start of a new chapter in the pursuit of virtue and wisdom. Like artists who incorporate mistakes into their creations, the Stoics used their missteps as foundations for growth. In an era of oversharing, the Stoic approach highlights the value of introspection and the nobility of silence. Stoic philosophy counsels us to see our mistakes and failures as integral to our personal journey. Today's societal pressures often compel us to disassociate from our errors, but Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge their true worth. By hiding our failures and crafting a facade of perfection, we forego opportunities for learning and development. Stoicism encourages us to recognize and learn from our mistakes, understanding them as chances for maturation and advancement. Just as artists transform errors into essential components of their work, we can turn our mistakes into pillars of personal development. By reflecting on and learning from our errors, we not only better ourselves but also embrace life's imperfections with courage. Stoic philosophy underscores the significance of pursuing internal progress and the importance of maintaining silence in a revealing and noisy world. It fosters respect for the understanding that no one is infallible and everyone has the potential to learn and grow from their own missteps. 12th, refrain from speaking about your weaknesses. There's a familiar saying that every hero has an Achilles heel, a vulnerability that can compromise their happiness, regardless of their strengths. Humans, in their wonderfully imperfect nature, are an amalgam of strengths and weaknesses. These vulnerabilities, the fragile parts of our souls, warrant protection, not public exposition. This isn't about concealment or denial but about treating them with the respect they merit. The saying, "Man is affected not by events, but by the way he perceives them," suggests that it's not our weaknesses that define us, but our perspective on them. Embracing these significant frailties, which are indicators of past scars, learned lessons, and even future fears, is important. They are also intensely personal. Disclosing them can expose us to external judgment, potentially warping our understanding or acceptance of them. Acknowledging these private aspects in ourselves fortifies us, ensuring they aren't exploited or misinterpreted. This allows us to transform weaknesses into opportunities for growth. Historically, many figures were acutely aware of their vulnerabilities but chose to keep them close, using them as motivators rather than obstacles. Abraham Lincoln, for instance, faced numerous setbacks and struggled with melancholy but internalized these challenges, fostering his empathy in leadership. Conversely, Julius Caesar's vulnerability was his trust in close allies, leading to his downfall on the Ides of March. These historical instances highlight the importance of recognizing our weaknesses, managing them with care, and ensuring they don't precipitate our decline. In today's world, where oversharing is common and the pressure to bare one's soul is immense, there's strength in opting for silence. Recognize and nurture your weaknesses, but don't feel obligated to broadcast them. Keeping certain aspects of your life private is not only acceptable but sometimes advantageous. Secrets possess their own charm, and strength often resides in the chapters yet to be revealed. 13th, do not reveal your secrets. Have you ever discovered something small and seemingly trivial that excited your heart? Perhaps it's a concealed dream, like learning a new instrument or dancing in the rain. These minor, personal aspirations often remain as hushed thoughts, easily drowned out in our daily bustle. You might feel compelled to share these ephemeral moments, these modest dreams, with others. A voice within might urge you to share, making it feel more tangible. But often, voicing these dreams prematurely can lead them to be crushed under the unsolicited opinions of others. Not everyone will grasp your desire to play the ukulele or take up gardening, and that's entirely okay. As a Stoic philosopher once observed, whispered dreams are meant for the soul, not for public display. Consider Socrates, who never recorded his thoughts. Most of our knowledge about him comes from his student Plato. This absence of direct writings from Socrates adds a layer of mystery to his beliefs and personal aspirations. This is a beautiful aspect. Not everything needs to be disclosed. Some treasures are best kept close to your heart. In today's world, where so much is openly shared, take a moment to cherish the dreams you've kept to yourself. Let them flourish in the quiet of your heart. When they are resilient enough to withstand both praise and criticism, you can choose to reveal them. Until then, safeguard them, for they are your secret source of strength, a serene symphony of hope and potential magic. When a caterpillar cocoons itself, a remarkable transformation happens unseen from the outside. If the caterpillar felt compelled to announce every step of its metamorphosis, it could disrupt, even hinder the process. Similarly, there's a sacredness in keeping personal growth details private. Every step towards self-improvement, each new insight or self-awareness, is a treasure. However, not all treasures are meant for public display. Some are meant to be cherished internally, resonating deeply within your soul. This isn't advocating for absolute silence. Sharing can be healing and inspiring. However, the Stoics emphasize the importance of reflection over proclamation. Seneca, in his wisdom, advised, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Notice he didn't say, "Let everyone know how." This underscores the value of internal growth and the discretion in sharing personal journeys. In our current era, documenting our lives has become almost instinctive. The impulse to tweet a thought, post a personal milestone on Instagram, or vlog about mental struggles can sometimes eclipse the true essence of those experiences. Before sharing, take a moment to ask yourself, is this for validation or genuine connection? Drawing from Stoic wisdom, particularly reflecting on Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, provides a key insight: the universe and life are constantly changing, and opinions about this change are highly subjective. As you journey through personal growth, remember that sometimes a powerful narrative is more impactful than frequent updates. The subtle changes and evolving emotions in the tapestry of your life are composed of a spectrum of feelings like joy, sorrow, love, and anger. While it's common to express our emotions publicly in this era of real-time updates, there's a quiet strength in reserving some emotions. How often do we pause to truly sit with our feelings before projecting them outward? The modern world prioritizes speed, but there's wisdom in allowing emotions to settle and be fully understood before sharing them. Some emotions, when kept private and contemplated, can evolve into deeper insights or transform into something new. So, the next time you find yourself overwhelmed by emotions, consider giving them room to breathe. After all, they are part of your personal journey through the vast landscape of life, and not every journey requires an audience. Some journeys are best undertaken in solitude, shared only when the heart is ready. Thank you for watching this video. We'd appreciate your thoughts on these 13 topics. Which one resonated with you the most?